It was 11:42 p.m. when Mira's phone rang, slicing through the quiet of the house. She glanced at the screen, and her shoulders relaxed slightly. It was Argan, her husband. He'd gone on a late client visit, something about a last-minute deal, and had promised he'd be back quickly. She picked up instantly, a smile already on her lips. "Hello?" Mira. "I'll be home in 10 minutes, Arjan's voice came through. It was calm, steady, just like always. But there was something else. A strange echo behind his words, a faint resonance like he was standing in a huge, empty room. It was unsettling. "You're late." "Where are you?" Mira asked, a hint of playful scolding in her voice. She expected him to say he was stuck at the junction near their house, or maybe grabbing a late-night snack. But instead, there was a short, sharp pause. Just a beat of silence that felt heavier than it should have. "Just 10 minutes," he repeated softly, his voice almost a whisper this time. And then the call cut. Dead. Mira frowned, pulling the phone away from her ear to stare at the screen. That was weird. Arjun was a man of details. He'd usually tell her exactly where he was, which street, which signal, which shop he had just passed. He'd paint a picture with his words so she could track his journey home. But tonight, there was nothing. Just that vague, unsettling promise. 10 minutes. Still, she decided to wait. Maybe the connection was bad. Maybe he was just tired and not in the mood to chat. She settled on the sofa, flicking through channels on the TV, her eyes constantly darting to the clock on the wall. 10 minutes passed. Then, 20. The hands of the clock crawled past midnight, and a knot of anxiety began to tighten in her stomach. He was never this late without a proper explanation. By 12:30, she was pacing the length of the living room, her bare feet silent on the cold marble floor. She tried calling him back. Once, twice, a dozen times. Each call went straight to a cold, automated voice, telling her the phone was switched off. Switched off. Arjun's phone was never switched off. It was his lifeline to the world, to his work, to her. Panic, cold and sharp, started to set in. Her mind raced, conjuring 1,000 terrible scenarios. She started making calls. First, to his office friend, Samir. "No, Mira. I haven't heard from him since he left the office around 7, Samir said, his voice laced with concern. Next, she called his boss, who confirmed Arjun had wrapped up the client meeting hours ago and should have been home. She even called the local cab service he sometimes used, her voice trembling as she gave them his name. No one had heard from him. No one had seen him. It was as if, after that strange phone call, Arjun had simply vanished from the face of the earth. By 2 a.m., the last vestiges of hope had frayed into sheer terror. The four walls of their home, usually a source of comfort, now felt like a cage, amplifying her fear. With trembling hands and a heart pounding against her ribs, she drove to the police station. The officer on duty listened with a tired, detached expression as she filed a missing persons report. He offered platitudes, telling her to try and stay calm, that he might just show up. But his words were hollow, offering no comfort. She returned home to an empty, silent house, the air thick with his absence. Sleep was impossible. She sat by the window, staring out into the dark, replaying his last words over and over in her head. Just 10 minutes. Where had he been calling from? And where was he now? The questions echoed in the stillness of the night, each one a haunting reminder that the man she loved was gone.